Well, hi there, and welcome to Home Wizards. I'm Cindy Dole.
Hey, I'm Eric Stromer.
And we love to improve your home and improve your life, and it's that time of year where you got to hang out on the patio.
I've been out there quite a bit lately.
Isn't it just relaxing?
Well, because it's balmy and beautiful.
And to me, it's about the outdoor lighting. I mean, when I turn the candles on, I just feel like it's just so mind relaxing, isn't it? Just
it's fantastic. You know, the sound of the trickling water for me is what does it. I've my son ultimately said to me, Dad, what's up with the water features? You got like 4 of them. I have to go to the restroom all the time when I'm in my own house. That sound makes me
but it is addicting.
But it works.
It's great.
It's fantastic. It makes me feel relaxed. I love it out there. And my tomatoes are going crazy. And I can't believe
Well, you deserve to have good tomatoes. You're a good gardener.
Thank you.
And I want you to send some pictures so we can put them on the website.
They're big, green, ready to go.
So let's say that you are looking at your outdoor space right now. Maybe you have a great backyard, or maybe it's even a front yard. I've seen people do some really cool things to make a front yard even feel private. Or you have a balcony or whatever. Let's talk you through some great outdoor decor ideas so it doesn't feel like it's just kind of cluttery, but it really takes you away somewhere.
Yeah. And those of you, and I'm going to start with this one because I think it's really probably one of the situations that most people have in their lives. Utilizing the exterior fence that separates the two properties between you and your neighbor as one of your walls, your featured walls in your outdoor living area. I think people often don't realize that fence can become a place to create an intimate and cozy setting, right? Where that wall can become like an architectural feature. It can have shelving on it. You could do outdoor clocks and mirrors.
A fountain, a wall
fountain.
You
could do a wall fountain if the fence is substantial and strong enough, because that's a little bit heavy. But yes, you could do it. But you don't discount that as a wall to become part of the place that envelops you in your outdoor area.
Right. The idea is to create a room.
Yeah.
I mean, to make it feel like it's its own little cozy space.
Yeah, and also with water features that are sort of, on the boundary of your neighbor's property, you can cancel out the sound of them yelling at each other or whatever it is they're doing. In my case, it's the crazy dog next door, so that water feature kind of trickles out trickles that out and turns it into
nice.
Yeah, it's nice. It makes a difference.
So as you're kind of thinking about it, right, you've got your outdoor space.
Yeah.
How do you begin? Because, this is the time of year you go, we had some big weekend summer sales. You go into, hardware stores, whatever, there's all this patio furniture on sale and all these pillows and outdoor lighting and things, and you want to buy stuff because it's so cool looking. But then I think that a lot of times we can make a mistake, just like anything, and we buy it all before we really have figured out our plan.
I agree. And then you're stuck to that pattern or that furniture design forever and ever, and you didn't make the proper choices and the informed decisions.
So, for instance, I was guilty of it. I went to one of the local hardware stores, and I thought, these are really cool looking. They are outdoor Asian lanterns. They are solar powered.
Yeah, and knowing you were like, excuse me, sir, I need all the lanterns that are in this store and the one in the next town right now.
Well, I was a little more disciplined this time. I got just one. I thought I'm going to test it.
Okay,
because solar lights, you never really know. This is like a silk fabric, and it's like it expands like those Asian lanterns, and it's kind of an apple green color.
Oh.
And it has like a little solar panel at the top, and you hang it as a lantern, should be hung, and then at night it's supposed to light up. Well, it kind of lit up, but it looked so puny. It just wasn't really what I wanted. So anyway, I learned, and the idea.
Well, see, that's a good point you bring up, because a lot of time with those solar lighting, and I've seen this a lot with the landscape lighting when it comes to solar. You're right. You should buy one and bring it home and test the light and how much it radiates, because a lot of the time the solar stuff it feels to me like, well, urinating in the wind, basically.
Okay. It's just not very satisfying, apparently.
It's just not giving, it's not casting a light large enough to really do anything.
And it's not only the heft of the light that could be different, but also the hue. Like, we found that looking at this, it felt cold. It wasn't that warm kind of a golden glow that you'd see from a candle, or even the battery-operated votives that are so great.
Sure.
That some of those can kind of cast an orange warmth. This had a blue, cold look, and it just didn't feel good. So I'm taking it back.
I don't blame you.
Taking it back.
Good.
So, but let's kind of get a strategy going.
So, in other words, disaster averted.
Disaster averted.
Okay,
Save the
I'm happy
receipts.
now.
Going
Okay,
back.
good. All right, good.
But get a kind of a patio primer. Kind of give your outdoor space a fresh face by sticking maybe to a monochromatic palette.
See, I don't mind the monochromatic at all.
Looks very sleek.
And then when you do put a floral arrangement or candles or whatever, that pops. It becomes almost like an art gallery, and the painting is the thing that you're honoring, right? I like the monochromatic.
So imagine like if you were trying to, right now, you're in the market to get an umbrella or patio furniture or maybe just a bench or some containers for your succulents that we hope you have.
Yeah.
Think if you were to go all white or all orange or all one color, and it kind of brings it together. It makes like a collection, like you see at a hotel.
That's a very, very lovely look. Now, can I just give you one little word of warning?
Please.
I recently acquired, my parents donated a beautiful,
I love that.
sort of umbrella situation with the curtains that come around it. It's
very
almost
Moroccan.
Very like a Moroccan thing.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is when the high winds come in the area that I live, that roof literally blows off the top like a kite.
Yeah. Oh, no.
And every time I have to reassemble it. So if you're in a high wind area with the umbrella, either A, don't do it, or B, put it down after it's used. So you want to get one that's not permanently up, because the winds will literally take it like a hot air balloon. And
that's dangerous, too.
It really is. It was kind of crazy.
I think a lot of these outdoor, fancy schmancy things that you can buy, they look so dreamy in the store or online, and you fall in love with it, and it can become a trap.
That's
like for me and my light, and for you and the Moroccan thing. I mean, you might want to do a test run on that, too.
And the less expensive the item, the more apt it is to blow away, because it won't anchor into the ground or it won't be heavy enough or substantial. So really pay attention to that. All right. Anyway, I digress. Let's move on.
No. And if you didn't want to go with monochromatic, you could always think of maybe go tropical. Think of this is now your oasis, your favorite place. Maybe it's, all tangerine and bright pink.
Sure.
Or blues and greens. I think those are beautiful colors.
Yeah, you're bringing
together.
in more vivid colors, exactly opposite of the monochromatic feel. Yeah.
And that can basically be everything from the fabric that's on the cushions, on your bench or your recliner, to the pillows.
And I personally think that the cushions and the pillows are pretty much almost the entire part of the design in a lot of these areas, because if you can interchange them or get something new and gussy up what you already have, it makes a huge difference design-wise.
And be sure that when you are getting outdoor pillows, get the ones that have a zipper. So that you can wash them or replace them.
Otherwise, good idea.
Yeah, otherwise, you're stuck.
Yep.
It's hard to put the whole pillow in the washing machine.
No question.
Eric Stromer, Cindy Dole, we have more great ideas to help you begin your outdoor summer living, no matter what size space, to kind of give you that hotel vacation feel. We're back in a flash. You're listening to Home Wizards. Check us out at yourhomewizards.com. Evan is lounging. Oh, hi there.
Hi.
You're listening to Home Wizards.
We're on the air. Hi.
I'm Cindy Dole.
I'm Eric Stromer.
And we love to make an outdoor space feel like you're on vacation. And so we're just kind of going through some ideas, such as you were suggesting, Eric, using a wall or a fence as a kind of a place to create that cozy. Maybe even utilitarian.
That becomes almost any kind of an interior wall space. If you were to imagine in your home being able to use a wall for decoration, for utilitarian objects like grilling tools, even a pottery bench. I mean, it can be everything that you can imagine. So don't discount the borders of your existing property as a place to create the cozy environment.
So as we're now in that time of year where we want to spend more time on our patio, on our deck, wherever you have that little outdoor area, your backyard, step one is to really kind of prioritize how you plan to use the area. I mean, obviously, you're going to use it because you're going to enjoy the outdoors, but maybe, like you're talking about the grilling tools, maybe your area against the fence is now where you're going to grill. So then you would set everything up that way, right?
Sure, yeah. It would become almost like a kitchen wall, right?
Nice.
Yeah, fantastic.
Very organized.
And I got to tell you something. As I'm acquiring more and more outdoor aspects to my yard now as a result of not only doing the show, but just being conscious about how I can make it better looking, because now the kids are a little older, they don't destroy everything like they used to. You know, in the past, I was just like, forget it. It looks like a mental institution. Let's just leave it as it is. Now they're starting to honor stuff. And I find that as I get more and more pots and plants, I'm almost coming into this thing where I've got this watering ritual with a really good hose that goes a long distance, but then can be retracted easily. So in your outdoor area, with all of the new plants that you're going to have, make sure you've got an effective watering system that you can easily retract and pull out, almost like a vacuum cleaner cord, right? and then you can get into this ritual of watering and getting it all done, and then it's in and out rather than becoming this overwhelming thing with a watering can.
Yeah,
right.
right.
So anyway, I digress
that's a good idea.
but I think it's really helpful to think about having that one central watering area that you can access everything.
Well, and not only be able to access it, but to put it away, because it's a pain in the rear when you have this hose that's all kind of dangling around.
That's
that doesn't
right.
feel like a
No,
vacation.
no,
you
it
want it to
doesn't.
be tucked out of sight, out of mind
Yeah.
when you're not using it for your relaxing water.
Yeah, and I like the wall crank. I also like the large ceramic pot that kind of the cord
It's like a
or the
snake.
hose snakes into it,
Sure.
and you can pull it back out again. So find a system that works for you, that's
Yeah.
repeatable, that you can continually pull out and put
And
back
they've made
again.
so many of these that really kind of fit into whatever your theme, your decor is,
Right,
Southwestern or
Sure.
cottage, whatever. Something else to keep in mind is thinking creatively can help you stick to your budget. Right? There's no reason, for instance, some of the things that you have inside, like a trunk, could perhaps now be turned into an outdoor coffee table. Things like
that's
that
right.
that are.
Yeah, like an old steamer trunk.
Yeah.
That could be great. And then if it's the kind that has the ridges on the top, you might want to think about putting a piece of plexiglass or a piece of glass on the top of the trunk with little, stop or feet on the bottom of the glass so it doesn't slide around. But then you've got that, there's nothing worse than that awkward surface where the glass doesn't ever really balance well. So it might make sense to put either a piece of wood, glass, or plexiglass on top of that trunk.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
One of my favorite coffee tables ever that I want to try this summer is where you use a planter, and it's often in a concrete or some kind of a container, a very hefty pottery container, right? And then you fill it with the plants inside, but then you take a piece of glass to the glass company, the glass cutter, and then they make a rectangular or circular, whatever kind of a cut, so it fits right over your planter. So the
that's
plants
a great idea.
come through the
That's
table,
great.
but then there's enough heft to the container so that the edges of the glass can now become a table.
Great.
And it's a cute idea. I've seen it done. It can be everything from a side table to even a dining table.
Yeah, and glass that size is not that expensive. It's really reasonable. Maybe $35-$40 for a really
Thick.
substantial
Yes.
3/4-inch piece of glass,
Yeah.
and then they bevel the interior of it.
Yes.
It's a worthwhile end table for sure.
And maybe
outdoors.
$50 for them to cut it? $100?
Not even that.
Not even
no,
that.
No, the whole you probably get out of the whole thing for under $75 for a huge, big, substantial piece of glass that's probably 3 feet by 3 feet. So yeah, it's affordable, a lot less expensive than some of the high-end designer tables. Good idea.
And if you're thinking of outdoor dining, also be considering not only that, but, maybe you want to have the picnic table. You want to create that kind of a country living experience, for dining al fresco, whatever, for weekend home living. Kind of come up with how you want that to feel. How many people are going to be there? Are there going to be extra guests? And that can kind of be incorporated to your decor and how you're using the space.
Yeah, that's right. Now, the other thing, too, for the outdoor experience, in the late afternoon hours when the sun is, still high but not too hot, you're still going to want to probably have obscurity when it comes to sunlight shining directly on you, some shade, right? So there's nothing like having, some sort of a tent scenario above the area where you eat. And you can either use that Sumbrella fabric.
We love that.
You can even stretch canvas if you have it, like a painter's tarp if it's not, too...
It's like a sail. We've seen that.
By the way, those painter's tarps, I've used those for so many different things in terms of decor, design, even art direction on video shoots. They're big canvas, white. Sometimes they're unbleached. You get them in the paint department, and they're really inexpensive, and they look great if you use it as a sunshade. So, and you just need 4 posts coming out of the dirt. You can stake the posts off with a couple of different wires that go down into the grass.
Maybe
to
some
hold them.
grommets.
Yep. And then just attach the fabric to the top, and you're good. You got a little sunshade.
Very, very nice.
Yeah.
Consider too, like maybe you have little corners. Maybe all you have is a side yard, or it is just a balcony at an apartment or a condo. You can still really create a nice little getaway spot, even if it's a small area. Sometimes the smaller areas, it turns out, when we live in our homes, we usually stay in the smaller rooms because it just feels more comforting,
it's more cozy,
right?
Yeah.
And so you could create this little corner where it's now like a little bistro table, and then a couple of chairs, and then a piece of art. Don't forget about outdoor art. There's a lot of art you can buy. That's
couple
now
of Christmas lights and some chairs. You got yourself an al fresco dining experience, right?
And some music. Create the setting.
Maybe a fancy waiter that could be your kid that's trying to work off some debt.
But I do love some of the outdoor art that is out there right now. You can buy some stuff that is you can hose it down. In other words,
Well,
it's made
that's
for the
what I love
outdoors.
about the mirrors outdoors.
Yes.
You know, I mean, they can hang out and get wet and rained on and snowed on, and then you just hose them off. They're good to go.
I love that idea of, in fact, when you hang a mirror and you hang it almost like it's a floating wall.
Yeah, that's great.
So, like, let's say you were to have a dining area on one side, but then you wanted to create a barrier, but it's not a total barrier, but it's just a partial illusion.
Sure.
So you would hang. How could we hang the mirror?
The mirror would have to be framed substantially to support itself, and then some eye hooks would go either on the back or top of that frame.
From a tree, maybe.
Yeah, or from a pergola or something that's coming outside, off of the side of your house. But again, with the glass, be careful with kids. So, my kids bike into those in a heartbeat. So if you're going to do stuff with young kids, make sure that that's tempered mirror so it's not going to shatter over everything. If you're an established family and everybody's going to honor that, then it'd be a great idea for sure.
I love that. I mean, mirrors outside, really great, because especially if you have a small space, it's going to give the illusion that it's twice as big.
That's it. Yeah.
Now, this is something I saw on Facebook. In fact, we even have it on our Facebook page, our Facebook/Home Wizards page, using rainbow colors for your outdoor area. And the idea is, let's say that you had a solid color sofa, lounge chairs, dining area, whatever. But then you have a pop of color in the form of pillows or other accent pieces, and it's the rainbow. So, you'd have a blue pillow, a red pillow, a green pillow, yellow, orange.
Nice.
And then you keep going with that rainbow, or even have some accent chairs that bring in each of those colors. Kind of different.
Very pretty. Yeah. You know what else? To your new passion, outdoor terrariums and those glass vases, that hang. Those are so pretty.
Yeah.
Bunch of those hanging off a pergola that's coming out over your dining area would be absolutely gorgeous, with some of those lights inside, like those little votives to sort of illuminate that. I mean, man, you got to see what Cindy's been making lately. She's got one coming my way today, and then of course our own engineer Seth Bindrup's getting one.
Well, wait
till you see it.
We have it on our website.
Yeah,
if you go to yourhomewizards.com, we walk you through how to make them.
By the way, I saw those in the grocery store that I shop at, and they're getting like $45.
And when you say
things.
Those, what do you mean?
The glass
just
hanging
the empty
terrariums,
or full?
with
full.
plants in them.
So the whole thing.
Yes.
So we're talking about it's a terrarium, or a succulent terrarium, and what that means is that there's no drainage, and so you design it in a way, and you can see the steps on our website, Your Home Wizards, and it basically is you take all the soil out and you put these little succulents, in like a bed of these decorative stones.
Yeah.
And it's not going to live forever. It's going to, but it's going to give you some comfort and some happiness for maybe 6 months, and then you can change out the succulents.
Yes, but the most important aspect of that whole thing.
Yeah.
You're a trendsetter. We talked about it last week,
and now you see it.
It's in the. Jeez.
And wait, where'd you see it exactly?
At
a store?
The supermarket.
Really?
Yes.
And they wanted $45.
$45. Now look at her. She's
for you.
Look, it's
75.
Like she's adding up in her head.
I'm going to charge
make
you.
A business out of it?
No, I'm just
seriously.
I won't hold it over your head
job.
that I've given you for free.
As I was picking a delicious plump grapefruit, lo and behold, to my right, there they were hanging there. I was like, oh my goodness.
And it was in the bowl, in the bubble.
You know?
See, well, what can we say? Anyway, we have more fun ideas to share. As always, Eric Stromer, Cindy Dole. Keep it here because we love to improve your home and improve your life.